Woolworths, BHS, Blockbuster, Comet, Debenhams, Mothercare. It's a roll call of death, a growing list of big names from the nation's high streets that are no more. Their demise has left many of the nation's retail centres desolate and deserted. It's left many unemployed, and it's ripped the heart out of towns up and down the country. The reason for the loss of these companies and many more just like them are well documented. Brexit, COVID, inflated and unaffordable rents, the cost of living crisis, and a gradual switch to online shopping that peaked during the pandemic. Now, about that last one. It's tempting to paint Jeff Bezos and Amazon as the villains in this piece. The mix of convenience and cost have proven too tempting for too many. But we, the public, must also shoulder at least some of the blame. We've had our heads turned. We are every bit as guilty. I bemoaned the loss of the Woolworths from my local high street. Where was I going to buy my pick and mix now? But when I thought about it, I hadn't set foot in the store in years. My desire for candy treats that had been handled multiple times by my fellow shoppers was apparently not as sharp as I'd previously thought. Now, I could get into how this cloud might have a silver lining should a UK government actually have the balls to admit that high streets are dead and convert them all into housing. I could go into a rant about how Amazon has raped our retail centres while paying little or no tax on the huge profits they've made doing so. But that's not the point of this film. Yesterday, I had the unenviable task of announcing that Leeds-based attachment manufacturer Northerntrack was in the process of shutting up shop after 34 years. Now, I will emphasise there's no scandal here. This is a controlled departure, a parachute landing as opposed to a crash. But one of the reasons cited for this reluctant but inevitable surrender was competition from cheap overseas imports and from low-cost used equipment sold through a variety of auction houses. Now, times are tough in the demolition and construction sector right now, and I certainly can't blame anyone seeking a bargain when buying an attachment. However, this is about more than a single bargain or a single attachment. We've seen from the high street experience that the loss of a single well-known and much-loved brand can have the effect of dragging down those around them. For many years, Northerntrack was an ever-present supporter of the Institute of Demolition Engineers. While my understanding is they've not been involved quite so much recently, they will unquestionably leave a hole. But for me, the saddest part of Northerntrack's closure, and quite possibly the most impactful, is this. For all its convenience, online shopping is soulless. There's no human interaction. There's no scope for customisation or personalisation. Your only option is to buy the thing that they are selling. The same rule applies when you're buying at an auction. You can only buy that which is under the hammer. Of course, I can still buy cubes of vanilla fudge, chocolate limes, sherbet lemons and raspberry ruffles. But when Woolworths closed, I lost the ability to buy a bag containing just the right number of each, tailored to my specific needs, tastes and requirements. When Northerntrack closes its doors for the final time in the coming weeks, the industry will lose the ability to pick up the phone, speak to an expert, seek advice, and to get an attachment that precisely matches their specification. It's years since I last indulged in a bag of Woolworths pick and mix, but I still hanker for it today. Northerntrack will be the same. You don't know what you've got till it's gone.